Dear children, good morning to, sorry, good afternoon to one and all. The topic is voltage source inverter for induction motor. And that is the first part of the module 5 and electric drives. So 6 semester students. And this is prepared by Dr. M. Nandakumar sir, that is the former head of GC Thrissur and currently professor and head of SEMS School of Engineering and Technology, and myself. And coming to the topic, and here we know that the induction motors are most commonly used machines in industries. So this, the control of speed control of the induction motor is very important. So variable frequency and variable voltage supply for an induction motor control can be obtained from voltage source inverter, that's VSI. So we know the basic equation of this induction motor, Ns is equal to 120 F by P. And that is, by varying the frequency, we can vary the speed of the induction motor. And that's why the variable frequency control allows a very good tension and steady state performance. So variable frequency induction motors are usually used in fans, pumps, blowers, conveyors, and machine tool applications. And voltage source inverter, which allows a variable voltage, variable frequency AC supply from a DC supply. So this can be achieved in two ways. One, a stepped wave inverter or a PWM inverter. Now we will divide the session into two parts. First part, I will explain the step wave inverter part, and after that we'll go on to the PWM inverter. And this is the voltage source inverter for induction motor drive circuit diagram. So this, coming to the circuit diagram of voltage source inverter for induction motor drive, and here we can see there are input to this inverter setup as a DC voltage represented by Vs, and it is having 6 thyristors named as T1, T2, T3 up to T6, and 6 feedback diodes D1 to D6. And here we have 3 positive thyristors such as T1, T3 and T5, which is called top thyristors or positive thyristors, and 3 bottom thyristors or negative group of thyristors, that is T4, T6 and T2. And these are the feedback diodes. And here we are having 3 limbs, limb A, and this is limb B, and this is limb C, or we can call it as ABC or RYD limbs. So the output of the induction voltage source VSI inverter is taken from these 3 limbs. From the A limb, and then second from the B limb, and third from the C limb, and this is given to the stator of the induction motor. So this is the circuit setup. Now we will see the voltage waveforms, and this is the phase voltage waveforms from a 3-phase VSI voltage source inverter. And as you have already seen in power electronics class, you have studied 2 modes of operation of 3-phase VSI, and that is 180-degree mode and 120-degree mode. So in 180-degree mode, each thyristor conducts for 120 degrees. Sorry, 180 degrees. In 180-degree mode, each thyristor conducts for 180 degrees. And in 120-degree mode, each thyristor conducts for 120 degrees. Now we will see the waveforms of a 180-degree mode of operation. And here the thyristors, as I already said, each thyristor conducts for 180 degrees. And firing sequence is in such a way that after each 60-degree interval, next thyristor fires. That means if T1 is fired first, and after 60 degrees, T2 is fired, and after another 60 degrees, T3 fired, and so on up to T6. Now we will see how this devices are fired. So here we can see that T1 is fired for 180 degrees, and similarly T3, each thyristor fired for 180 degrees in 180 mode. And suppose if you are considering the first interval, that is from 0 to 60 degrees, we can see that the devices conducting are T1, T6 and T5. Okay, so we will write the devices conducting like this: 5, 6, 1. Okay, and next interval from 60 to 120 interval, the devices conducting are T1, T6, T2. T2 starts from this point, so it is 6, 1, 2. So from this sequence, we can see that without looking into this part, this diagram, you can directly write the sequence. Like 5, 6, 1, just remove 5 here. So next step is add the next thyristor, that is 6, 1, 2. Then remove T6 and add 3, T3. So 1, 2, 3. In this manner also, you can find out what are the devices conducting in different intervals in an easy way. Okay, now we can see how the voltage waveforms are appearing. And these voltage waveforms are phase voltages. We will see first how the waveforms, phase voltage waveforms appear. In here, as I said earlier, it is having 3 limbs, A, B, C limbs. So I am taking the voltage from V, A, O. That is reference is taken as this negative part, this lower part. So we will see VAO. So here, this is the output waveform, voltage phase voltage waveform from a variable, from a voltage source inverter. And here we can see that the output voltage is varied from Vs by 3, then increases to 2 Vs by 3, then Vs by 3, then minus Vs by 3, minus 2 Vs by 3, minus Vs by 3, and so on. So this completes one cycle of operation. So this process repeats. This completes one cycle of operation, that is in 360 degrees. We'll get one cycle. The value of Vs by 3, 2 Vs by 3, etc., that you have already studied in the power electronics class with equivalent circuits. So I am not going into the details of that. So then similarly, you can take the voltage from the other limbs also, VBO and VCO. That is, these are out of phase by 120 degrees. You can just flow like this. So this is started at this point. So after 60, then another 120 degrees, this cycle, this VBO cycle starts from here. And after, and similarly, you will get the C phase voltage. So that is VCO. So after this point, after 120 degrees, the next cycle starts. Next wave will be C voltage starts. And these voltages are given to the stator of this induction motor. Okay, and coming to, and this is the phase voltage waveform. And if you're looking into the voltage waveform of line voltage waveform, you can see that what is the line voltage, and if you're getting the phase voltage here, you will get VAB is the line voltage, and which is given to the windings A and B, stator windings of this induction motor. So if you know VAO and VBO, you are able to find the line voltage VAB as VAO minus VBO. So simply directly subtract this VAO minus VBO. So from this waveform itself, you can subtract, you can see that VAO is Vs by 3 minus VBO is minus 2 Vs by 3. So you will get Vs by 3 plus 2 Vs by 3, so which is equal to 3 Vs by 3 is equal to Vs. So in this interval, you go the line voltage waveform. These are the line voltage waveforms of 180 degree mode of operation of VSI. So you got in this interval the voltage as Vs by 3, and this you can check the next interval also. And here the voltage VAO is 2 Vs by 3 minus, this is minus Vs by 3, then 2 Vs by 3 minus of minus Vs by 3. You will get it as Vs 3 Vs by 3. So it is also equal to Vs. Okay. So this interval also the voltage is Vs, right? And similarly, you can find out the differences in all the intervals. And from 120 to 180 degrees, the voltage is 0 and then minus Vs. So this is the pattern of the line voltage following line voltage that is applied to the induction motor. Okay. And similarly, you can find the other line voltages also, that rated speed only we are able to vary voltage, armature voltage, and above the rated value, above the rated speed, we cannot vary the rated voltage above the rated value. So below the rated region, we will be keeping V by F ratio constant. That means V by F ratio, V by F is directly proportional to the flux. So flux, we are maintaining the flux constant. In the above phase speed region, what happens is that that is V by F, we are not able to change the voltage above the rated voltage. So what happens when, if we want to increase the speed above the rated speed, we need to increase the frequency. Since V by F, like phi is proportional to VBC, you will obtain VBC as VBO minus VCO, and similarly VCA, VCO minus VAO. And otherwise also, if you go the voltage wave from VAB, you can just get the other voltages by simply giving a phase shift of 120 degrees. That means after 120 degrees, this wave shape starts, and after another 120 degrees, this wave starts. Okay, and so this is the line voltage waveform. Okay, now, and so this is given to the stator of the induction motor. Now, when we are seeing this, we can see that the waveforms are in the form of a stepped wave. So this voltage we are obtaining from a variable source, voltage source inverter. So output of the voltage source inverter in stepped wave mode is this. This is because since the output voltage obtained from this is in the form of a stepped wave, you are calling it as a stepped wave inverter. So what are the, but this, so in this, from this we can see that in this mode, each switch, as this is we already said, in this mode, each switch is conducting for 180 degrees. Frequency can be controlled by controlling the turn-on time of each switches. So we have each thyristor T1 to T6 conducts for 180 degrees, and if you are able to control the switching switch on periods of this, we will be able to vary the frequency. For example, if the on period of the switch is 10 milliseconds, then the fundamental time period is 360 degrees. So fundamental time period will be 20 milliseconds. So what is the frequency then? The frequency is 1 by 20 milliseconds, which is equal to 50 hertz. Okay. And if you want to change the frequency, if you want to double the frequency of this, then what you will do? You will change the switch on time. We will change the switch on time of the switches, and let it be 5 milliseconds. If it is 5 milliseconds, the fundamental period becomes 10 milliseconds. So what is the frequency? 1 by 10 milliseconds is equal to 100 hertz. So in this way, by varying the switch on period of these thyristors, you are able to vary the frequency. And varying the frequency alone may cause problems when it is operated in below the rated value. When it is operated in below the rated speed, you already seen in the previous modules that you can operate the induction motor in two modes. One below the synchronous speed, another is above the synchronous speed. So if you are operating at below the synchronous speed, you below the synchronous speed, that means that is the constant torque mode. That means you need to fix the V by F ratio constant. That means you are trying to operate your induction machine at the rated flex. That means in this period, if you are varying the frequency, here we have varied the frequency, but in some speed control applications below synchronous speeds, you need to vary the voltage also in order to maintain the V by F ratio constant. In that concept, if you are using this VSI, you need to change according to the frequency variation. You need to change the voltage also. So output voltage can be controlled by controlling input DC voltage. So we cannot control the input voltage from output voltage of the VSI from the internally, and that can be varied only by varying this DC supply. Okay, so we can see how we can vary this. I have shown two examples connections. Here, this is our 6-step inverter with induction motor. That is this part, inverter with induction motor. And if you want to vary this DC voltage, you need to connect a chopper or a control rectifier at the front end. If the available front end, okay. And here, this is our, sorry, and this is our inverter. And if you want, I already said that for varying the frequency, you are controlling the switch on time of each switches in the inverter. And if you want to vary the voltage, you need to vary the front input voltage. And for that, if your supply, available supply is a DC supply, how you will be able to change the DC voltage? Just use a chopper circuit. How can you control the chopper circuit? By controlling the duty ratio of the chopper switches, you can control the output voltage, and this is given to through an LC filter to the input of the six-step inverter. Okay, and so with the fixed DC input voltage, variable AC voltage inverter output can be obtained by connecting a chopper at the front end. Okay. Coming to the next diagram, if the available supply is an AC supply, then you can control the input to the inverter by connecting a controlled rectifier. So, and this is also given to an LC filter to the input of the inverter. Okay. And how you are controlling the output of the controlled rectifier? By varying the firing angles of the switches in the control rectifier. Okay. So, if input voltage is a fixed AC, variable input at the input of the inverter can be obtained by using a controlled rectifier at the front end. Okay. So, we are talking about a voltage source inverter fed induction machine. In that, we need to control the speed of the induction machine, and for controlling the speed, we need to vary the frequency and voltage. For controlling the frequency, for varying the frequency, we'll be using, it can be done by controlling the turn-on period of the switches in the inverter. And for controlling the voltage, you can control it by varying the input voltage. Okay. So in this session, so VSI connected drive, as we know, in stepped wave VSI fed induction motor drive has number of drawbacks because the waveform is like stepped wave. So from this, it's evident that the current harmonic content is very large. The output voltage of inverter has a large low frequency harmonic content. So this increases motor losses and thus the efficiency, this causes derating of the motor. So motor produces pulsating torque due to this harmonics, and also in three-phase driven harmonics will be absent, and at low speeds harmonic content increases. So machine saturates at low speeds due to high V by F ratio. That means V by F ratio, if we low speeds means for low speeds we need to reduce the frequency. Speed is directly proportional to frequency. So for low speed you need to reduce the frequency. That means this V by F, if you are not varying the voltage, the V by F ratio will be increased. So what happens, and this as actually flux is proportional to V by F, so flux will increase, though there is a chance for saturation. So due to this effects, it overheats the machine at low speeds. Machine at low speeds. Okay, so this is the first session. So here we have seen a variable a voltage source, inverter, feeding, and three-phase induction motor, in which we are using a stepped wave inverter output voltage waveform, and it is having number of drawbacks as mentioned here. So this is the first session, and in the next session you will see the PWM, and in which that these drawbacks can be rectified. So this is in the first session.
Okay, ma'am. So we have the first 20 minutes. So we have got a few questions from the students. So we have got a question from Hafiz Mohammed. So he's asking if the frequency is 1 by T, then how it is doubled by varying the time period?
Actually, as I said, time period of, see, in 180-degree mode of operation, each thyroid conducts for 180 degrees. In the other 180 degrees, switch will be off. One cycle is 360 degrees. So a thyristor conducts for 180 degrees means that is the on period of that particular switch. So off period, the total time period is 360, that means time period. So it will be, if it is 10 milliseconds, the total time period T is 20 milliseconds. So it will be 1 by T's frequency. So you will get frequency like that.
Okay, ma'am. So if that is answered, so to the students, actually, you can actually post your queries using the Q&A button, which you can find in the dashboard below the screen, actually. So we have got another question as well, ma'am. So that is from Anjali Jayachandran, which is, she's asked, do we always need to keep the V by F constant, or only when under the synchronous speed? She's asked, do we always need to keep the V by F, that particular thing, as constant, or only when under the synchronous speed?
So usually there are two modes of operation. One is below base speed, in which we usually use variable voltage methods, etc. Variable voltage, variable frequency control. Below rated frequency, if you want to increase the speed, we need to increase the frequency. If we are base speed താഴെയാണെങ്കിൽ നമ്മുടെ വോൾട്ടേജ് V by F കൺട്രോൾ യൂഷ്വലി ഇപ്പോൾ ഫസ്റ്റ് മൊഡ്യൂൾ വെച്ച് അല്ലെങ്കിൽ സെക്കൻഡ് പല പ്രീവിയസ് മൊഡ്യൂൾസ് ഒക്കെ പഠിക്കുമ്പോഴും നമ്മൾ രണ്ട് റീജിയൻസ് പഠിക്കും. എബോവ് ബേസ് സ്പീഡിൽ പ്ലസ് ഫ്ലക്സ് വീക്കനിങ് മോഡ് എന്ന് പറയും. എബോവ് ബേസ് സ്പീഡിൽ സ്പീഡ് കൺട്രോൾ ചെയ്യാൻ വേണ്ടിയിട്ട് വി ബി യൂസിങ് ഫ്ലക്സ് വീക്കനിങ് മോഡ്. ദാറ്റ് മീൻസ് എബോവ് ബേസ് സ്പീഡ് വരുമ്പോൾ, ബേസ് സ്പീഡ് മീൻസ് റേറ്റഡ് സ്പീഡ്, എബോവ് റേറ്റഡ് സ്പീഡ് വരുന്ന സമയത്ത് നമുക്ക് വോൾട്ടേജ് ഇൻക്രീസ് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റില്ല. റേറ്റഡ് വോൾട്ടേജിനേക്കാൾ കൂടുതൽ റേറ്റഡ് വോൾട്ടേജ് കൊടുക്കാൻ പറ്റില്ല, റേറ്റഡ് വോൾട്ടേജ് കൊടുക്കാൻ പറ്റുള്ളൂ. ആ സമയത്ത് നമുക്ക് സ്പീഡ് ഇൻക്രീസ് ചെയ്യണമെങ്കിൽ നമ്മൾ ഫ്രീക്വൻസി ഇൻക്രീസ് ചെയ്യും. ഫ്രീക്വൻസി ഇൻക്രീസ് ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ സ്പീഡ് ഇൻക്രീസ് ചെയ്യും. അപ്പോൾ V by F എന്ന് പറയുന്ന ഫ്ലക്സ് കുറയും. ദാറ്റ് മീൻസ് ഫ്ലക്സ് വീക്കൻ ചെയ്യും. ദാറ്റ് ഈസ് ഇൻ ദ ഫ്ലക്സ് വീക്കനിങ് മോഡ് എബോവ് ദ ബേസ് സ്പീഡ്. ബിലോ ദ ബേസ് സ്പീഡിലാണെങ്കിൽ അത് നമ്മൾ ആ ഫസ്റ്റ് മൊഡ്യൂൾ തന്നെ ഒരു ഇക്വേഷൻ ഒരു ഡയഗ്രാം ഒക്കെ വരച്ചിട്ട് നമ്മൾ എക്സ്പ്ലെയിൻ ചെയ്യുന്ന ഇതാണ്. ബിലോ ദ ബേസ് ഫീഡ് വരുമ്പോഴത്തേക്കും അവിടെ നമുക്ക് വി ക്യാൻ വേരി ദ വോൾട്ടേജ് ഫ്രം 0 ടു റേറ്റഡ് വാല്യൂ. അപ്പൊ 0 ടു റേറ്റഡ് വാല്യൂല് അവിടെ നമ്മൾ ഫ്രീക്വൻസി ഇൻക്രീസ് ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ ഫ്രീക്വൻസി മാത്രം ഇൻക്രീസ് ചെയ്തു വോൾട്ടേജ് വേരി ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ V by F is proportional to flex. Up and the frequency increase a chance of flex vary. Flex increase frequency കുറച്ച് സ്പീഡ് കുറയ്ക്കുകയാണെങ്കിൽ അവിടെ ഫ്ലെക്സ് ഇൻക്രീസ് ചെയ്ത് സാച്ചുറേഷനിലേക്ക് പോകാനുള്ള ചാൻസ് ഉണ്ട്. യൂഷ്വലി ആ റീജിയനിൽ will keep V by F ratio constant. Okay, hope it is clear.
ഓക്കെ മാഡം, ആക്ച്വലി നെക്സ്റ്റ് ഒരു ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ, 2 ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ ആണ് പെട്ടെന്ന് ചോദിക്കാം മാം. അതില് ഒരു ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ വെച്ചാൽ VSI ഡ്രൈവ്സിന്റെ മാക്സിമം പോസിബിൾ ഫ്രീക്വൻസി എത്രയാണെന്നാണ് ചോദിക്കുന്നത്. വാട്ട് ഇസ് ദ മാക്സിമം പോസിബിൾ ഫ്രീക്വൻസി യൂസിങ് VSI ഡ്രൈവ്സ്? അലക്സ് ദേവൻ.
So in maximum possible frequency എന്ന് പറയുമ്പോൾ, so here we can see that നമ്മൾ we will be using different devices in this. So ഇപ്പോൾ frequency റേഞ്ച് പല റേഞ്ചിൽ നമ്മൾ ഡിപ്പെൻസ് അപ്പോൺ ദ ആപ്ലിക്കേഷൻ. ഇപ്പൊ T1 എന്ന് പറയുന്ന തൈറിസ്റ്റർ ആണെങ്കിൽ തൈറിസ്റ്ററിന്റെ നമ്മൾ യൂഷ്വലി തൈറിസ്റ്റർ സ്വിച്ചസ് ആർ യൂസ് ഫോർ ലോ ഫ്രീക്വൻസി ആപ്ലിക്കേഷൻ, ഹൈ പവർ ലോ ഫ്രീക്വൻസി ആപ്ലിക്കേഷൻസ് ആണ്. അപ്പൊ അതേ സോ തൈറിസ്റ്റേഴ്സ് ലോ ഫ്രീക്വൻസി ആപ്ലിക്കേഷനും ഹൈ പവർ ആപ്ലിക്കേഷനും യൂസ് തൈറിസ്റ്റേഴ്സ്. അപ്പൊ ഈ സ്വിച്ചസിന്റെ അതിനനുസരിച്ചിട്ട് നമുക്ക് ഫ്രീക്വൻസി, പിന്നെ അതേപോലെ മോസ്ഫെറ്റ് യൂസ് ഇൻസ്റ്റെഡ് ഓഫ് ദി സ്വിച്ചസ് മോസ്ഫെറ്റ് യൂസ് ചെയ്യാം. ആൻഡ് വി കൻ യൂസ് IGBT ട്രാൻസിസ്റ്റേഴ്സ്. അപ്പൊ സ്വിച്ചസിന് നമ്മൾ ഹൈ ഫ്രീക്വൻസി ആപ്ലിക്കേഷൻസ് വരുന്ന സമയത്ത് നമുക്ക് വെരി ഹൈ ഫ്രീക്വൻസി മെഗാ ഹെഡ്സിലും ഒക്കെ കിലോ ഹെഡ്സിലും ഒക്കെ യൂസ് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റും.
ഓക്കെ മാം, താങ്ക് യു. നമുക്കൊരു 2 ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ എടുത്തിട്ട് നമുക്ക് അടുത്ത സെഷനിലോട്ട് പോകാം മാം. അതിന് ഇതിനകത്ത് യൂസ് ചെയ്തിരിക്കുന്ന ടൈപ്പ് ഓഫ് കൺട്രോൾ റെക്ടിഫയർ ഏതാണെന്നാണ് ഒരാളുടെ ചോദ്യം.
Controlled rectifier, that means in this suppose I will show you
ഇതിൽ യൂസ് ചെയ്തിരിക്കുന്ന ഏത് ടൈപ്പ് ആണെന്നാണ് ചോദിച്ചത്.
This block like a controlled rectifier means that is a fully controlled rectifier. So this can be, so here if you want to vary the input voltage, this input voltage vary, we are using a controlled rectifier. You can use fully controlled rectifier here.
ഓക്കെ മാം. ഓക്കെ മാം, അതുപോലെ വേറെ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ ചോദിച്ചിരിക്കുന്നത് ഫസ്റ്റ് ഗ്രാഫിനെ കുറിച്ചാണ് ചോദിച്ചിരിക്കുന്നത്. അതില് 2/3 VS എന്ന് പറയുന്ന ആ ഒരു ഇക്വേഷൻ എങ്ങനെയാണ് കിട്ടിയതാണ് ചോദിച്ചിരിക്കുന്നത്.
2VS/3. Okay, that is
2VS/3.
And actually this requires a detailed session. Even then I will just inform, because in the power electronic class we are finding this voltage with the equivalent circuit. Actually this VA, this voltage VA, VB, VC, from this we are giving this input to the stator of the induction motor. That means, and for finding this stator windings are star connected. So in each interval we can see that thyristor, either top thyristor, in each interval either T1, one thyristor from top group and 2 thyristors from bottom group will be conducting, or 2 thyristors from top group and 1 thyristor from lower group will be conducting. So if, by considering the turn on of the switch, suppose in the first interval T1, T6, T5, if you're turning on T1, if you're turning on T1, we can see that the voltage coming this side is VS is coming to this side. And if lower voltage, this is connected, VA as 0. So in this way, you can draw the equivalent circuit by considering the stator voltages. Star connected stator voltage, you can connect this DC input voltage. Then the easy method is that if you are finding T1, T6, T5, then there will be 2 thyristors, two positive thyristors, that is T1 and T5. T1 and T5 from the positive group and T6 from the negative group. That means the complete VS voltage is giving to this equivalent circuit. So the top, if two top thyristors T1 and T5 are connected to the top plus side of this, see T1 and T5, say this is T5, these are connected to the positive side of this DC side, and the negative side of the DC side is connected with the bottom thyristor T6. To put it, T6 means that is D. T1 and T5 are A and C. So A and C voltages VAO and VCO voltages will be Vs by 3, Vs by 3 and Vs by 3 minus this V, the bottom switch which is connected to the negative side of the supply is minus 2 Vs by 3. Minus 2 Vs by 3. So by totally adding this voltages, you will get. So similarly, here 612 period, here we can see that two bottom thyristors. Two bottom thyristors, that means even thyristors, 6 and 2. So 6 and 2, you will get minus V by 3, minus V by 3. Then T1 as 2 Vs by 3. The limb which is connected to the a limb which is connecting only one thyristor is having 2 Vs by 3, other is having Vs by 3. So actually this need a detailed description with the tables and equivalent circuit of each interval. So it will be very easy to understand, but that much time it is there. You can refer either Negmohan or Duque or the power electronics. Any of the power electronics textbooks will be giving a clear explanation of the derivation of these voltages from equivalent circuit.
Next session, ma'am.
Okay. And we will start the next session, that is the sine PWM inverter fed induction motor. And we have already seen the drawbacks of the previous square wave inverter output system, VSI fed system. And now we will see and these drawbacks can be overcome by using a PWM inverter. So in PWM inverter, see here, this is the circuit block diagram setup in which the input supply is AC and we are feeding the voltage through a diode bridge. Unlike in the previous case, we are using a control rectifier. Control rectifier, that means there you need to vary the input voltage, and this is given to the filter to the PWM inverter. And here in PWM inverter, this PWM inverter itself is giving a variable voltage, variable frequency output to the induction motor. In the previous case, in the square wave inverter type, we have seen that the frequency, variable frequency can be varied by controlling the turn on of switches, and for varying the input voltage, varying the output of the VSI, we need to vary the input voltage. Unlike this, in PWM inverter, we need to control, we will get the output of the PWM inverter itself as a variable voltage, variable frequency output, so that you can directly give to the stator of the induction motor. That is the advantage with the PWM inverter setup. And now we will see the same circuit diagram can be used for this PWM inverter also. Inverter setup is same, like 6 switches, positive switches, positive group switches and negative group switches. Here just shown a circuit diagram which uses a transistor. In the previous case, we have used a thyristor, and this switches can be anyone depending upon the application. As in the question, one question asked, there sort of how the frequency maximum limit and this can be determined by this. So according to the application, you can select the switches. And here, this diagram shows a transistor switches. Okay, this can be either IGBT, MOSFET, SCR, etc. And here, we can see the output voltage waveform from the PWM inverter setup. And here, these are PWM means pulse width modulation inverter. So these are the PWM pulses. So the fundamental output voltage in this case will be sinusoidal waveform. So in order to, we have seen PWM in different, so when you are doing the project and when you are studying different at the application level also, PWM. And what is actually the concept behind the PWM? Before, this is the final output voltage, and I will show you how these voltages are coming from the PWM. So this is a sinusoidal PWM inverter for induction motor control. And here we can see PWM is just a comparator. So here, see, this is a block diagram showing the PWM operation in which we are giving two waveforms, two waves to the comparator. This is comparing a triangular wave with a control wave. This wave, you can call it as a reference wave or control wave. And here our control wave is a sine wave. Okay, here the control wave is a sine wave. And how you are selecting this control wave? So if you want a sinusoidal output voltage at the, some fundamental output voltage, then you will select your control wave or reference wave is sinusoidal wave. If you want a step output voltage waveform at the output side, then you can select a step waveform of the control wave. So this control wave determines the output of the inverter. Okay, so this as the comparator, so the output of the comparator is given to the triggering pulse generator, and this triggering pulses will be given to these thyristors, or this here in this case here to the switches, transistor switches, for controlling the different switches in the inverters. Okay, when we are talking about this, we will show you with this waveforms how this controlling is operation control is actually doing. And here, see, we can have two waveforms. These two waveforms are giving to the comparator. This is the PWM operation. So first wave is high frequency carrier wave. This is high frequency carrier wave. This is a triangular wave. So that is one input. And second wave is a sinusoidal waveform, that is our control wave or reference wave. Here we taken it as a sine wave. Okay, and then how this is a pulse width modulation. That means by controlling the pulse width, we are able to control the output voltage. And how these outputs are coming, you will see. See here we are comparing sinusoidal waveform with this triangular wave. Okay, and here this is our control wave, or we can call it as reference wave. And here we can see in this interval, if you are taking from this point to this point, this interval, the control wave is more than the triangular wave. Or we can call this triangular wave as carrier wave also. The control amplitude or the magnitude of the control wave or the reference wave is more than the triangular wave. So at that time, we will get a positive pulse plus VDC. And from this point to this point, we can see that the control wave is less than the triangular wave, or the sinusoidal wave is less than the triangular wave. So we will get minus VDC pulse. In this way, you will get all the pulses here. If you consider this part, we can see that here the control wave or the sinusoidal waveform or the reference wave is less than the triangular wave. So we will get minus VDC. Okay. So in this way, so from this wave shape, we can see that this part is having more positive values, this part is having more negative values. So when we are drawing the fundamental waveform, you will get a sine wave like this. So this is the concept behind the PWM. So when you are hearing about PWM, this is nothing but this is simple. This is just a comparator comparing two waveforms, triangular wave and sinusoidal wave. Okay, and this is the operation taking place in the PWM inverter. So when we are considering the, ഹലോ, ഇൻവേർട്ടർ PWM ഔട്ട്പുട്ട് വേവ് ഫോം. PWM എന്നൊക്കെ നമ്മൾ പല സ്ഥലങ്ങളിലും നിങ്ങൾ പ്രൊജക്റ്റ് ചെയ്യുമ്പോഴും അതുപോലെ ഇൻഡസ്ട്രിയിലാണ് നമ്മൾ പല ആപ്ലിക്കേഷൻസിലാണെങ്കിലും വി വിൽ സീ എപ്പോഴും PWM. സോ എന്താണ് ഈ PWM എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ? ഇറ്റ് ഈസ് നത്തിങ് ബട്ട് എ കമ്പാരേറ്റർ. ഒരു കമ്പാരേറ്റർ ആണ്. ഈ കമ്പാരേറ്ററിലേക്ക് നമുക്ക് രണ്ട് വേവ് ഫോം കൊടുക്കുന്നു. ഒന്ന് ട്രയാങ്കുലർ വേവും, രണ്ടാമത്തേത് സൈൻ വേവും. അപ്പൊ ഈ ട്രയാങ്കുലർ വേവും സൈൻ വേവും ആണ് ഇതിലേക്ക് കൊടുക്കുന്ന ഇൻപുട്സ്. അപ്പൊ ഈ രണ്ട് ഇൻപുട്ടും കൂടെ കമ്പയർ ചെയ്യുന്നതാണ് ആക്ച്വലി ഇതിന്റെ PWM ഔട്ട്പുട്ട്സ് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. കമ്പയർ ചെയ്തിട്ട് ദിസ് വിൽ ജനറേറ്റ് ട്രിഗറിങ് പൾസസ്. ഈ ട്രിഗറിങ് പൾസ് ജനറേറ്റ് ചെയ്തിട്ട് ഇത് നമ്മൾ ഈ ഗേറ്റിംഗ് പൾസസ് വി ആർ ഗിവിംഗ് ടു ദിസ് സ്വിച്ച്. ഈ ട്രിഗറിങ് പൾസ് ജനറേറ്റ് ചെയ്ത് സ്വിച്ചസിൽ കൊടുക്കുമ്പോഴാണല്ലോ സ്വിച്ചസിന്റെ ഓപ്പറേഷൻസ് നടക്കുന്നത്. അപ്പൊ ഇത് വി ക്യാൻ എക്സ്പ്ലെയിൻ വിത്ത്, ഇതാണ് ബ്ലോക്ക് ഡയഗ്രാം. ഇത് തന്നെ നമുക്ക് ഈ വേവ് ഫോം വെച്ചൊന്ന് ഒന്നുകൂടെ ഒന്ന് എക്സ്പ്ലെയിൻ ചെയ്യാം. ഈ വേവ് ഫോമിൽ വി ക്യാൻ സി ഇവിടെ ഒരു ട്രയാങ്കുലർ വേവ് ഉണ്ട്. ഈ ട്രയാങ്കുലർ വേവ് ആണ് നമ്മുടെ കാരിയർ വേവ്. കാരിയർ വേവ് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് ഈ ട്രയാങ്കുലർ വേവ് ആണ്. അതുപോലെ കൺട്രോൾ വേവിനോ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ നമ്മൾ റെഫറൻസ് വേവിനോ പറയുന്നതാണ് ഈ സിനുസോയ്ഡൽ വേവ് ഫോം. അപ്പൊ നമ്മൾ ഇവിടെ കൊടുത്തിരിക്കുന്ന കൺട്രോൾ വേവ് സൈൻ വേവ്, ട്രയാങ്കുലർ വേവ് കാരിയർ വേവ്. ഓക്കെ, അപ്പൊ ഇത് കമ്പയർ ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ അതിന്റെ കമ്പാരിസൺ അനുസരിച്ചിട്ടാണ് ഔട്ട്പുട്ട് പൾസ് നമുക്ക് വരുന്നത്. അപ്പൊ ഇവിടെ ഈ കൺട്രോൾ വേവ് അല്ലെങ്കിൽ നമുക്ക് സൈൻ വേവ് എന്ന് പറയാം. ഈ സൈൻ വേവ് മാഗ്നിറ്റ്യൂഡ് ഇസ് മോർ ദാൻ ദ ട്രയാങ്കുലർ വേവ്. ആ സമയത്ത് ഈ വി വിൽ ഗെറ്റ് എ പ്ലസ് VD ഔട്ട്പുട്ട്. പ്ലസ് VD ഔട്ട്പുട്ട് എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ ഈ തൈറിസ്റ്റർ ഈ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഈ ട്രാൻസിസ്റ്റർ ഓൺ ആകുമ്പോൾ കിട്ടുന്ന ഔട്ട്പുട്ട്. നമ്മൾ ഒരു ലിമ്പ് കൺസിഡർ ചെയ്യുകയാണ്. ഇതിപ്പോ ഞാൻ ഈ ഇൻഡക്ഷൻ മോട്ടറിന്റെ പാർട്ടിലേക്ക് പോയിട്ടില്ല. അതിന് മുമ്പ് തന്നെ ജസ്റ്റ് ഒരു PWM ഓപ്പറേഷൻ എങ്ങനെയാണെന്ന് പറയാൻ വേണ്ടി എടുത്തില്ല. വി ക്യാൻ കൺസിഡർ ഒരു ലിമ്പ് കൺസിഡർ ചെയ്യുകയാണെങ്കിൽ ആ ലിമ്പിൽ എങ്ങനെ ഓപ്പറേറ്റ് ചെയ്യുന്നു എന്നുള്ളതാണ്. അപ്പൊ അവിടെയുള്ള തൈറിസ്റ്റർ ഓൺ ആവും അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ട്രാൻസിസ്റ്റർ സ്വിച്ച് ഏതാന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ സ്വിച്ച് ഓൺ ആവും. ആ സ്വിച്ച് ഓൺ ആയി കഴിയുമ്പോൾ സി വിൽ ഗെറ്റ് പ്ലസ് VD ഔട്ട്പുട്ട്. ഇനി രണ്ടാമത്തെ പാർട്ടിൽ കമ്പയർ ചെയ്യുന്നത് വി കൻ സി ഓരോ ക്രോസിംഗ് പോയിന്റ്സിലുമാണ് നമ്മൾ കമ്പാരിസൺ നടക്കുന്നത് അല്ലെ. അടുത്ത ക്രോസിംഗ് പോയിന്റ്സ് എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ ഈ പോയിന്റും ഈ പോയിന്റും. ഹിയർ വി കൻ സി ദാറ്റ് ദ കൺട്രോൾ വേവ് ഇസ് ലെസ് ദാൻ ദ ട്രയാങ്കുലർ വേവ്. ആ സമയത്ത് നമുക്ക് മൈനസ് VD ഔട്ട്പുട്ട് വോൾട്ടേജ് വരും. ഇതേപോലെ നമ്മൾ ഈ ക്രോസിംഗ് പോയിന്റ്സ് എല്ലാ ക്രോസിംഗ് പോയിന്റ്സിനെ എടുക്കുമ്പോൾ നമുക്ക് കിട്ടുന്ന വോൾട്ടേജ് ആണ്, വോൾട്ടേജ് ഷേപ്പ് പൾസസ് ആണ് ഇവിടെ കാണിച്ചിരിക്കുന്നത്. അപ്പൊ ഞാൻ ഒരു എക്സാമ്പിൾ വെച്ച് ഇപ്പുറത്തെ സൈഡിൽ നെഗറ്റീവ് ഈ സൈഡ് കൂടുതൽ നെഗറ്റീവ് സൈഡിലേക്ക് കൂടുതൽ മാഗ്നിറ്റ്യൂഡ് വരുന്ന അല്ലെങ്കിൽ പൾസ് വിഡ്ത്ത് കൂടുതൽ നെഗറ്റീവ് സൈഡിൽ വരുന്ന ഈ പാർട്ട് ഒന്നും കൂടെ എടുത്തത്. ഇവിടെ വി കൻ സി ദാറ്റ് വി ആർ കമ്പയറിംഗ് ദിസ് വിത്ത് ദ ട്രയാങ്കുലർ വേവ്. ഓക്കെ, അപ്പോൾ സി ഹിയർ ട്രയാങ്കുലർ sinusoidal wave is less than triangular wave, so we will get a negative. So in this way we are getting a fundamental voltage of like sinusoidal form. Okay, shall I proceed? So we are so in this PWM so we'll be having two indices. One is the amplitude modulation index MA is equal to amplitude of reference voltage divided by amplitude of carrier signal. So even a peak of the amplitude of reference wave nu varna, see here this maximum value A, the peak, this is our reference value, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ sine value. And so this peak of the amplitude, peak of the reference voltage. And the low amplitude of the carrier signal is, we will call it as a triangle. This triangular in the peak value, peak of the triangular wave. So A sine by A triangular. This is the modulation index. And second is the frequency modulation index. The second index. So this is given by frequency of triangular wave. This is the frequency of triangular. Usually this is a high frequency signal. Frequency of triangular wave, that we will call it as FC, and frequency of sine wave, here it is taken as FO. So this is the frequency modulation index. And usually this peak of the fundamental output voltage is represented by VO1 star. VO1 peak is equal to MA VDC. What is MA? MA is the modulation index. Usually in the normal case, in these operations, value of MA is less than or equal to 1. That is maximum value is 1. Usually it will be less than 1. So here from this we can see that if we want to vary the magnitude of the output voltage, that you can do by simply controlling the amplitude modulation index, MA. You can do it by controlling MA. Okay, so that means here the control voltage output, variable output voltage can be obtained by controlling within the PWM inverter. Okay, and so RMS value of the fundamental output voltage, you can write it as by root 2 VO1 is equal to MA VDC by root 2, which is equal to 0.707 MA VDC. Okay, and this is a principal operation of a PWM inverter, a PWM wave. So this here we are having in three-phase PWM inverter, we are having 3 limbs. Okay, we are having 3 limbs. So each limb is having, so here in the comparator, triangular wave is the carrier wave, and to this carrier wave we are giving the reference waves as 3 references for A phase, B phase and C phase. 3 reference wave. If we want a single phase output, we are giving only 1 reference wave or 1 control wave. So that is 1 sinusoidal wave. But if you want a 3-phase PWM output voltage, then you need to give 3 reference voltages, and these reference voltages are out of phase by 120 degrees, and these are compared with the same triangular wave. Okay, then you will get 3 output voltage waveforms, output sinusoidal voltage waveforms of 120 degree out of phase, and this is given to the stator of the induction motor. Okay, and this is given to the stator of the induction motor. And here the thing is that what we are discussing about is that how you are getting a variable voltage, variable frequency output voltage from a PWM inverter. And here, as I already said, variable voltage can be obtained by varying the modulation index, MA. And actually, what is MA? MA is amplitude of reference voltage by amplitude of carrier signal. And that means if you want to change the value of MA, you can change the peak of this. By changing this values, you can vary the MA. So that means by varying the amplitude modulation index, you are able to vary the voltage. And what about frequency? Frequency can be varied by varying the MF, frequency modulation index, and that is actually frequency of triangular wave by frequency of sine wave. That means by changing the frequency of this carrier wave, you are able to control the frequency. So by varying the frequency of the control wave, varying the frequency of the control wave, that means a reference wave, you will be able to vary the frequency, output frequency of the PWM inverter. That means usually the frequency of the fundamental output voltage will be same as the frequency of the reference wave. So we will select if we want to change the frequency to another frequency, we will select a control, we will change frequency of the control wave. That is a reference wave. Here the sinusoidal waveform. So what I'm telling us that in this case, we are able to get a variable voltage, variable frequency output from the PWM inverter itself. No need of changing the input voltage and all. So we can like this in PWM inverter for the induction motor. PWM inverter has a constant DC link voltage like this, and this PWM technique is used for both voltage control and harmonic elimination. So PWM inverter for the induction motor. So here we can see So harmonics of the output voltage are centered. So here, in this case, harmonics of the output voltage are centered at the MF. MF is the frequency modulation index, MF, 2MF, 3MF, etc. That means it is centered at high frequency regions. So this high frequency harmonics can be filtered easily. So when comparing to the square wave inverters, we can use torque pulsation as minimal in this case, and power factor system is good, four-coded operation is possible, then dynamic braking can be employed with this. So in the case of sinusoidal PWM inverter, output voltage and output frequency can be controlled within the inverter by varying amplitude modulation index MA and frequency modulation index MF. So maximum value of the fundamental voltage is VO1 is equal to MA VDC, as I said earlier. So fundamental frequency of the inverter output voltage is the modulating signal frequency of control wave, so that is the sinusoidal wave. So in this way, we are able to get a variable frequency, variable output voltage from a PWM inverter, and this is required for controlling the speed of the induction motor. If you want to control the speed of the induction motor, that you can do by varying the frequency of the induction motor. If you want to control the speed of the induction motor, that you can do by varying the frequency. So by varying the frequency, you are able to control it. Here we are dealing with the control of three-phase induction motor through a very VSI, voltage source inverter. So we have seen two options. One is a stepped wave inverter, and the other is PWM inverter. In the first part, stepped wave inverter, we have seen a lot of drawbacks in this case, and this is overcome by the PWM inverter setup in the second case.
Ma'am, first session we are varying the voltage between base speed. Then how is it such that the V by F is constant when we are varying the voltage?
V by F is not constant when we are varying the voltage alone. When we are varying the voltage and frequency simultaneously, then only V by F is maintained constant.
Okay.
That's why we are calling it this, that region phi is proportional to V by F. And see, if you want to operate the machine with the constant flex region, with the constant flex, then if we, for controlling the speed of the induction motor, if we are trying to vary the frequency, if you are trying to do so, then your flex may change. So if you want to work this with the constant flex, then you need to do the vary the voltage also at the same time, so that the V by F is maintained constant.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. ഈ ഒരു പർട്ടിക്കുലർ സെഷൻ്റെതായാലും എല്ലാ സെഷൻസിൻ്റെ നമ്മളെ യൂട്യൂബ് ചാനൽ സ്ട്രീം ചെയ്യുന്നതാണ്. സ്കിൽ പാർക്സ് അസാപ് കേരള എന്ന് പറയുന്ന സൈറ്റിൽ കയറി കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ യു വിൽ ഗെറ്റ് എ ലിങ്ക് ഫോർ ഇറ്റ്. Okay, so from our side, we would like to thank Dr. Nafiza ma'am. Madam, thank you very much. മാമിനെ പോലുള്ള എമിനന്റ് ഫാക്കൽറ്റീസിന്റെ വോളണ്ടറി ആയിട്ടുള്ള സർവീസ് ആണ് നമുക്ക് ഈ ഒരു പർട്ടിക്കുലർ ഇനിഷ്യേറ്റീവ് കൊണ്ടുപോകാനായിട്ട് സാധിക്കുന്നത്. മാഡം, താങ്ക് യു സോ മച്ച് ഫോർ ജോയിനിങ് വിത്ത് us. And I would like to say that the session is officially concluded. Okay, students, thank you so much. And I hope you all have a safe and healthy time ahead. Thank you.